Hey guys, what's going on? It's Anthony again. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, but I'm going to be talking about the new features that they announced during E3 and just like give you guys like a overview of like everything. So yeah, man, let's hop right into it. So as you guys have already like probably seen from either their direct or the Pokemon video that Nintendo put up on their channel, they announced a Dynamax feature, which is basically when Pokemon become giants and they have amplified attack power, rather than having, your normal size Pokemon. Like this feature makes it to where, your Pokemon actually like becomes a lot larger and a lot bigger than what it normally is. But during that elevated state, it actually, increases its attack. But this is the feature that's going to replace Mega Evolution, so we'll see how that turns out. Also, the Water Gym leader Nessa was also announced, so that was kind of cool to see, that in action and just to see like how much like graphically, this game has been enhanced like since it's not on the 3DS anymore. Freaking hype for this game, bro. But anyway, the Grass type gym leader Milo was also announced, so that was kind of cool to getting that view of like when you're first walking in the gym and like the crowd's like going wild and just like hyped up like about the match, so that was kind of cool. And then the Galar region is where the game's going to be taking place, and something that they were showing off like a lot in this gameplay that is shown on Nintendo's channel was the wild area. Now apparently this is new to Pokemon games because you'll find like a wild variety of Pokemon like you've always done, but it's going to be also like different too, because it includes some really strong Pokemon you can interact with, but they might be too strong, like as you guys can, saw from like the gameplay, like, your Scorbunny was like, I want to say like level like 12, and then it encountered Machamp that was like level like 26 and took an L, bro. So, that was kind of cool to see that. And then also, they mentioned about different types of Pokemon appear at different times, like of the day, but again, I believe that was also previously in other Pokemon games, but I think as far as that, you'll be able to see like a more visually, picture of like, the weather like actually changing versus like, it's kind of like pixelated. So that's kind of dope that they added that in. And then for the wild area, like it's not just going to be like this one small area. It's actually like really massive, and it's going to connect to like different cities. But from what it seems like, it's going to be like a central point to where you catch a lot of Pokemon. So that's actually kind of cool. And one thing like I'm really hyped about is that like you can freely control the camera. Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. Freaking like I'm hyped off that too, because it's like rather than you're playing from like a fixed angle, like if you want to look up to the sky, you can look up to the sky, to see Pokemon, or maybe you just want to look at the sky for some weird reason. So that's kind of dope too. Also, while the trainer was in the grass, he was like moving, and like an exclamation mark like came and shown up, and the game developer was talking about how like that shows a random encounter, so like you don't know like what Pokemon will show up, because in the wild area, like while you're walking around, you can physically see like different Pokemon. So that's kind of cool too, because it's like you're not gonna be sure like what Pokemon you want to encounter, or you might have encountered a Pokemon previously and then you don't see it right away. So like that kind of comes into play. So that's actually kind of cool too. Another thing that that I saw like they didn't really talk about, but when choosing a move, it shows what moves are not very effective, effective plus super effective. So that's kind of cool too, like especially if you're a new beginner and like you don't really understand like the matchup types, or like the types of Pokemon that are out there. So that'll give you like a basis on like what's strong, like grass is weak versus fire, fire is weak against water. So that was kind of dope that they showed that too. Also, you can not attend, my bad. You can attract Pokemon attention by whistling, which is pretty crazy. Because I'm pretty sure that wasn't in previous games, where you could just like make like a sound and then like they'll like come towards you. So that's kind of dope. And then another thing too was that some Pokemon will actually like size you up. like again in the gameplay, like a Machamp like saw the guy walking around. He was like, "Bruh, like what you doing over here?" And like he walked into him, and then a battle was triggered. So that was actually kind of cool that you can do that. And then also they mentioned that during like different types of weather, like different Pokemon will also appear to you. So that was actually kind of cool because now it's just like like instead of having like the morning and the night Pokemon showing up, like now you have like water type showing up when it's raining, or like ice type showing up when it's snowing. When it's more hot out, maybe you get like fire types or dragon types. So that's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out. Also, after you catch the Pokemon, you can send it to a box to be stored. You can add it to your party. You can check the Pokemon summary that you caught, and then you can also check the summary of your party Pokemon. So that's going to be intriguing to see like what does all that stuff like really means. But that was something that I had also paused the video to give you guys a heads up on. Also, like I was mentioning earlier, like when you whistle, like some Pokemon will actually like come at you, and then others like they react completely different. Like some of them like actually like stand still, and then like a question mark appears, so like they don't really move. So that's kind of cool too to see like it's not just you're getting the same type of gameplay. Like it's gonna be different depending on the type of Pokemon you want to catch. And then another thing too is that you can also crouch while moving in the grass to be stealthy, because they talked about it in the gameplay where they're saying how some Pokemon like will actually run away from you, so you don't want to take the aggressive approach. Like you want to take like the stealthy approach and try to run into them and try, especially like if you want to catch it. And then something else that they showed off was that the bike. Now the bike was actually kind of dope too, because it's like you can ride it on the water. Like it's not just limited to like on the land. And again, I'm not too familiar with like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon if they added that feature, but we know this for sure is going to be in Pokemon Wild. Also, to get some extra speed, you can hold down B. So that was actually kind of nice too. And then the last thing I'm going to mention here, I might do a part 2 to this. I'm not too sure, but I'll see. But the last part is that there's a new communications feature, and it's called Wycom. And the icons that show up on the left show what players are currently up to, like maybe they want to trade, but they actually went into more detail about it. Like with the Wycoms, like you can trade with players, you can invite players to battle, and then you can also join raids with other players too. And then something else that they had said that I thought was pretty interesting was that you can connect with players locally and wirelessly through the wild area. Now I thought that was dope too, because it's like, now you can connect with your friends, online. So, and like you guys can actually like physically like see each other versus like, you're just in the same lobby. So that was actually kind of cool. But yeah, man, I hope you guys, enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, dislike, comment if you thought it was lame. And, I'm definitely looking forward to maybe doing a part 2. But yeah, guys, put your comments down below. Hope you guys have a good one.